Finally, the girl reaches the top floor of the tower. The gates open on the 100th floor. It was difficult for her to climb all the floors, but she persevered. She used to have team members she was attached to, who helped her through this arduous journey. They all died. She is the last survivor and the final S-class hunter, Kim Young. Suddenly, a guy calls out to her. She doesn't let him say her name because he is the tower's master who has taken over someone else's body. Large, terrifying monsters appear before her, and she defends herself against them. Kim Young doesn't want to go through all the suffering again, dying, returning, and climbing the tower once more. Again and again. She is fed up with it, having experienced this cursed return 58 times already. She has learned the entire system and knows where and what dangers await her. The girl has studied his attack patterns so well that they haunt her in her dreams. She is tired and angry, she wants to go home. She fights until the end and wins. The ruler of the final floor disappears, which means the conditions for completing the quest have been met. Kim Young can't believe she has finally won and that all her torment is over. Master of the tower can't believe he lost to a human, as he has yet to fulfill his grand plan. The girl doesn't want to listen to anyone anymore. She is tired of waiting and wants to go home, where her puppy is waiting for her, and she misses it dearly. Master of the tower vows to take revenge on her for ruining his dream. Kim Young isn't afraid of him, she replies that he should blame the quest creator instead. The girl ruthlessly kills him since he has already doomed many lives. In his last words, Master of the Tower says that in the next life, his wish will surely come true, and Kim Young will remain trapped in that very place forever. The girl ignores him as Master of the Tower disappears. After that, Vicious Bloodlord urges Kim Young to claim her reward for completing the quest quickly. However, she cannot do so because the system is updating. She is furious and doesn't understand what went wrong. Suddenly, she notices the title of a new novel, What Happens If an S-Class Hunter Becomes the Villainous Daughter of a Duke? Kim Young gets a bad feeling about it. The system announces that the update is complete and congratulates her on perfectly completing the quest. She exhales in relief. However, the system informs her that due to an error, the reward for the quest has changed, and instead of returning to her original world, she will be reincarnated as the main character in another novel. The system assures her that Kim Young will enjoy this new world and wishes her a good time. The girl is enraged, she screams, trying to call out to the author, but the reincarnation has already taken place. S-Class Hunter Kim Young, who has been reborn after defeating the tower's master, the ruler of the final floor, has found herself in a fantasy novel with constellations that watch over the hero and assist him. Being an ordinary person, she was preparing for a civil service exam in Korea. On the day when, after 4 years and 7 months of studying, she successfully passed the test and was about to celebrate, Kim Young died and was transported into the novel she had been reading during her long preparation for the exam. At first, it was amusing that she became an S-Class hunter. Thanks to her knowledge of the novel and her rebirth, she could clear any dungeon that no one else could pass. She had immeasurable strength, agility, endurance, and wisdom. She captured all the constellations that originally occupied the top 3 spots in the rankings and formed contracts with them. However, even with such fraudulent stats, Kim Young could not defeat the boss. This showed just how powerful the tower's master was, the hidden strength and the final boss of the novel. He had no weak points, and his attacks were so varied that no strategy seemed to work. The novel was not finished, so the method to defeat him was unknown, yet Kim Young managed to do it. After 58 rebirths, she defeated the final boss. However, instead of the promised reward and returning to her world, she faced a new reincarnation. Not only did the girl not receive a reward for her hard-fought victory, which cost her many lives, but she was also transported into a new novel. She is informed that she has entered the body of the daughter of Duke Marquis, the best military family in the Ramdish Empire. Now she is known as the most terrible villainess, Renee Marquis. She needs to reach a reputation of -500 to complete her quest. She is also told that her character has been falsely accused of murdering and concealing the body of Saintess Lian Karis and has subsequently been imprisoned in a dungeon. The girl receives her first task: she must escape from prison by any means necessary to gain +20 reputation points. Kim Young realizes that she has landed in a romantic story and learns more about her new life. She understands that this is likely the work of the tower's master. The structure of the system was so perfect that it seemed as if everything had been constructed specifically for her. A second encounter was not part of her plans, which means that the last curse from Master of the Tower was so strong that it caused an error in the system. Kim Mi-young realizes that it is pointless to just sit locked up and think about this, so she begins to carry out her quest. First, she needs to escape from prison. The Lord of Temptation warns her that in this world, one cannot speak his name aloud. The girl understands that he knows this world and asks him to tell her a little about it. The Lord of Temptation replies that this world is connected to the demon world in which he was born. The King of Waves and Healing and Vicious Bloodlord, Kim Mi-young's allies, are worried that her ability level has significantly decreased. However, the girl notices that overall, all the constellations are fine and continues to act. She effortlessly tears off the grate from the ground that had confined her. The best military family in the Ramdish Empire, the Iron-Blooded Marquis. The only ducal lineage renowned for its high-level swordsmanship. The House of Marquis, which has produced many sword masters over the centuries, is now on the brink of collapse. The only saintess of the empire and fiancée of the crown prince, a lady from a count's family, Leon Karis, has gone missing on the outskirts of the Duchy of Marquis. It is assumed that the disgrace of the Marquis family, the abandoned daughter of the Duke and the worst villainess in the empire, is to blame for what happened. This is the infamous René Marquis. Auntie Marquis, the heir to the Duke of Marquis, orders everyone to prepare for an attack. Kirill Marquis, the second son of the House of Marquis, says he feels that someone with unusual energy is approaching them. However, upon entering the basement, they encounter not a stranger but their own sister, René Marquis. She greets them and looks very happy. Auntie asks his sister who helped her escape from prison. The girl replies that she got out by herself since the bars were very old. The brothers interrogate René for a long time, trying to uncover the truth. However, she just wants to leave them quickly and continue her quest. She feels like she's wasting time being with them. Auntie doesn't believe her, as they felt a strong energy that couldn't have come from her alone. They are convinced that René either killed Leon Karis or hired someone to do the dirty work. The girl notices that the windows of non-playable characters are glitching, and she cannot fully gather information about her brothers. Despite this, she realizes that her favorability level is at rock bottom and she won't be able to use her position as the beloved youngest member of the family. One way or another, René is happy, as she managed to complete the quest and her rating has increased. She is informed about her next two tasks. First, she needs to mend her relationships with her brothers, as only then can she hope for a happy future. Then, she must make someone believe in her innocence. She has to be nice to Auntie and Kirill, which raises their suspicions that René has something planned. The girl wonders why everyone thinks she killed the saintess. Auntie shouts in rage that it's been her own voice shouting for a long time that she would kill Leon Karis at every turn. Moreover, she disappeared within their duchy, which is why the whole world is convinced it was her doing. Even if René confesses everything, her brothers are unsure they can maintain the family's honor since the moment they locked her in prison, she immediately escaped using some trick. They wonder how many more times René will ruin their lives. Despite her brother's reaction, the girl continues to ask questions. She asks if they found any evidence that she is indeed guilty. Auntie replies that it was René who hid both the evidence and the body, which is why she looks so confident. Kirill says that René is the only suspect since no one else could have done it. Auntie cannot understand who else could have killed such a bright and kind person as Leon Karis. The brothers urge René to confess and tell them where she hid the body. If she does, at least His Highness won't hold their entire family accountable. Their father went to the palace to protect their honor. They plead with her to tell the truth. The girl doesn't understand why the Crown Prince himself is monitoring this situation instead of His Majesty. The brothers inform her that His Highness got engaged to Leon Karis 3 years ago. Auntie tells her to stop thinking she still has a chance to marry the prince. It turns out that René has been in unrequited love with the heir all this time, which is why she tried to kill his fiancée more than once. The girl realizes that she is not guilty of Leon Karis's disappearance since the quest window mentioned false accusations. The system never lies because the book does not provide false information to the reader but can hide the truth. René wonders who could have killed Leon Karis. She tells her brothers that perhaps the saintess ran away herself, as until they find a body, it's not murder but a disappearance. They know that Leon Karis is set to marry His Highness the Crown Prince in a month, so she would never run away on her own. However, Renee assures them that the girl escaped because she didn't want to get married. To this assumption, Auntie replies that the saintess would never do such a thing, she wouldn't cause a scene for no reason. Renee tells him that he thinks too narrowly, and with such a narrow mind, he won't achieve much. Suddenly, she notices that Kirill is reacting very actively to everything and decides to press him. The girl suggests that Leon Karis decided to run away because she couldn't refuse the prince while looking him in the face since she is very kind. Upset, the prince kills his fiancée himself so she wouldn't belong to another guy. Renee tries to convince her brothers to believe her. Kirill's sympathy rating increases by 10 points, however, Auntie hasn't changed his opinion. The girl tells him that it's not right to suspect only her, they need to learn a bit more about the relationship between the prince and Leon Karis. Auntie replies that their family has given Renee many chances to make amends, but she just keeps letting them down. If things were different, he would believe her. However, she does not deserve it. The girl asks her brothers for just 1 month during which she can prove her innocence. Renee asks her brothers to believe her one last time. She tells them that Auntie is just afraid that she might be right, and then he will have to apologize for his distrust. After this, Auntie agrees to her condition and says that if she can prove her innocence, he promises to grant her one wish. Kirill witnesses the conclusion of their argument. The girl receives a new task, to prove her innocence within a month. However, she realizes that even if she manages to do so, Auntie's attitude towards her won't improve. She can't figure out why this is the case and why her older brother behaves this way, while her relationship with Kirill has already improved. The brother and sister shake hands. Kirill notices that something has changed in his sister, she is acting differently. Auntie comments that he, a master of the blade, somehow couldn't avoid shaking hands with an ordinary person who doesn't even know how to hold a sword properly. This seems strange to him, as he never even thought about touching her hand. Moreover, he felt nothing from it, no anger, no sympathy, nothing at all. He sits alone, trying to understand the reason for his actions.